welcome back to Shradysstyle. I hope you're all having a great 2018. It's crazy that it's 2018 February, like a month has already gone by. It's crazy how time flies. And this is actually my first video of 2018. If you guys follow me on social media, you guys know that in the month of November of 2017, I had the Lasik eye surgery, and I've been getting a lot of questions regarding the surgery, the process, is it scary, the cost, where I got it from, etc. So in this video, I actually want to share all those details with you, and I also want to share like my personal experience and things that I've read up and heard and whatnot. So before I do that, I want to put it out there that I am no expert. I'm not a doctor, so don't take my word as is. These are just the things that I've read up on my own or I've heard during my consultations and whatnot. So if you are thinking of doing this surgery for yourself, I would suggest going and doing your own research first, talking to your doctor first, and then deciding if you actually want to go through all that. So the number one question that I get from people is, what is Lasik eye surgery? So Lasik eye surgery is basically a procedure that corrects the error in your eyes. So there are two things, there's far-sightedness and there's short-sightedness. So people like me who had far-sightedness have like a negative number or the error, and people who have short-sightedness have a positive number. So in order to get rid of that number, that error, the surgery is performed. I don't really want to go in depth because some people might be grossed out if I talk about eyes and procedures that are done to the eye. So I don't want to offend those people. But if you want to know how this process is really done, the actual surgical process, you can go up and read it online. I'm also going to leave a few links down below which helped me understand what this process really entails. So I would leave those links down below and they would be of help to you. I want to start from the start, like why did I want to go for a Lasik eye procedure? So since I was like 7 years old, I'm 27 now, and for 20 years I've been wearing contact lenses and spectacles or glasses, and people who wear glasses know what an inconvenience it is. So some people it might not be an inconvenience, but for me it was like I did not like to get up in the morning and not be able to see clearly and then put on my contacts or my spectacles and then go about my day. And small things like if I had to go swimming, I could not wear my contacts or my glasses and I couldn't see clearly if I wanted to, or if I wanted to wear sunglasses for that matter, I had to put on contact lenses, and then I couldn't wear those contact lenses for more than like 7 or 8 hours because then it would dry out my eyes. And also with makeup, like I do not like to see myself with a full face of makeup and then wearing glasses on top of that. Like that was such a turn off for me. So there were a bunch of reasons other than this that I wanted to go in for a Lasik eye surgery. I've been thinking of getting this surgery for as long as I can remember. Like I think it goes back like 10 years when Lasik procedures weren't as developed, I would say. And my mom or my parents were actually scared and skeptical a little bit of me getting this procedure done, but now science has grown so much, there's so much development in this field that me and we all felt really comfortable me getting this procedure done and getting my vision to almost perfection. Next thing is my number. So like I said, this number goes from negative to positive. So I had farsightedness and my number was actually minus 3.25 in the right eye and minus 3.75 in the left eye. I also had astigmatism, which is also the cylindrical number. Now that is a more complex number, I would say. It's like some spherical angle or something like that. I don't clearly know the technical terms for it, but my astigmatism was really high. And I've had the cylindrical number for I guess about 10 to 12 years. So that would really strain my eyes, and I couldn't use like laptops or computers or even go to watch a movie without my glasses because my eyes would tire out and they used to really strain my eyes. So I constantly had to wear spectacles or contact lenses for that. So yeah, that was a big problem. So the next most asked question is, from where did I get my LASIK eye surgery done and what was the cost? So currently I live in the United States, and for people who live down here know how expensive medical procedures and the whole hospital thing is here. Like, you cannot go to a hospital without an insurance because you would just empty your bank account. Things are really expensive here, so that is the number one reason I did not want to do my procedure here, because it would have cost me like 3 or 4 times of what it costs me back in India. The second reason of getting this procedure done back in India, because here I live on my own, and I did not have anyone to like take care of me or take me to the doctor or my appointments or take me back from surgery. Like, I do have friends, but I don't want to bother them because this thing requires complete attention and complete care of the other person, and who better to do that than your mom? So that's the reason I went back to India in November, and my mom was always there with me during my appointments, my pre-care, my post-care, during my surgery. So she was there constantly with me during this entire thing. So yeah, that's the number 2 reason I did that back in India. So where I did this from Ojas Eye Hospital. I will leave their links down below. So even before I went to India, I actually spoke to a number of eye hospitals. Some were in Mumbai, and there was one in Hyderabad. I think it was called Shankar Netralaya, and that's supposed to be like the best eye hospital in India. But for me, it meant like traveling to Hyderabad along with my parents and then staying there and then going back to a follow-up. So that was a big thing and a big hassle for me, so I didn't want to do all that. So there was this another hospital in Mumbai called the Ojas Eye Hospital, and I actually spoke to Dr. Nitin Dedia, who's the head surgeon or like the main doctor of Ojas Eye Hospital, and he has experience of almost 30 years, and he's been doing this for a long time. And so I went through like all the reviews that people had written. I spoke to Dr. Nitin Dedia about this procedure and like the pre-care, the post-care, and side effects and medicine and everything, like all the questions that I had about this procedure specifically. So, and then I took an appointment like way back in, I guess, September. I think 2 months before I was actually going to fly out. I took an appointment for just a consultation, and then I just wanted to like face-to-face talk to him, and then decide after my questions were answered and whatnot, that if I can get this surgery done. Okay, so regarding the actual procedures, there are 3 types of LASIK eye procedures. One is the standard eye procedure, which actually costs 55,000 rupees, and that procedure is really old and it takes a longer time. It takes about a couple of hours for the surgeon to perform the surgery, and it takes a longer time to heal as well, so that was off the books for me. The other 2 types are the blade-free technologies. The one is called blade-free interlace femtosecond LASIK, and this costs around 95,000 rupees. But this did not take care of my astigmatism to the perfect extent that I would have wanted to. So I went for the custom LASIK, which costs me 125,000 rupees, which is 1,25,000 rupees. So I went for this particular procedure because I found that this was the best one out there in terms of a LASIK eye procedure. And this was regarding my eyes, like my vision, and eyes are of course so important, and I didn't want to take any chances with it. So I went in for the best LASIK eye procedure. The other question that I get is about the procedure itself. Is it scary? Does it take a long time? Is it for me, etc.? So I would say I would like to believe that I am quite brave about hospitals and injections and all this stuff. These things don't scare me. So the surgery itself wasn't really scary to me. But you might want to talk to your doctor and really understand how this procedure is performed, because some people are really icky about things done to their eyes. So yeah, for them this might be scary or not comfortable. So yeah, I would just say do your own research and talk to your own doctor and then decide. So I don't want to go in details how this procedure is performed, because again, like I said, I don't want to gross you people out. So all these details regarding the surgery itself, like surgically how it is done, how the correction is performed, I would leave it in the description box below. And if you still want me to explain things to you and things that I know, you can just like chat me on social media or even down in the comments, and I would be glad to answer those things to you. Alright, the next thing is pre-care, things that you need to take care of before you go in for your LASIK eye surgery or even your basic consultation. So like I read on the internet about things that I need to be careful about before I go in for my consultation. So it said that you need to stop wearing eye makeup for at least a couple of weeks. You need to stop wearing contact lenses for at least 3 weeks before you go in for your consultation or your surgery. So even before you go in for your surgery, you have to go for this basic consultation where they determine if you are actually a good candidate for a LASIK eye surgery. Now there's a large criteria ranging from the actual error of your eyes to your corneal thickness to your medical history and things like that. So I have a list of pre-operative tests done before the LASIK. So that includes refraction, where they actually check the power or the error of your eyes. Corneal topography, they just check the structure of your cornea and see if it's good and healthy. Corneal pachymetry, which measures the thickness of your cornea. Now your cornea's thickness has to be more than 0.5 millimeters. If it's less than that, I don't think you'd be a good candidate for LASIK eye surgery. Keratometry, to check the curvature of cornea. Slit lamp examination, to check the to estimate the condition of cornea. Tonometry checks the eye pressure. They make you stare into like this machine and blow like just a pop of air like in your eye to just check the air pressure, to check the eye pressure. And a basic retinal checkup to just check the general health of your eye. Other than these tests, there are other criteria that you need to fulfill before you are considered a good candidate for LASIK eye surgery. So the day before of my surgery, I was given a bottle of eye drops, and those were basically like just to sanitize my eyes and just get rid of any like dirt or debris or whatever, and just soothe my eyes from any dryness or anything that I might be experiencing. So my surgery was scheduled around 10 a.m. and so I went in, and then I was made to change my clothes, and then they gave me these anesthetic drops. The nurses and those guys performed all that, and then I was given like these scrubs to wear and like you have in hospitals. And then I was taken into the actual surgery room, and I was just lying down, and the doctor was there. He checked my reports from the previous day that was taken during my examination, like before my surgery, and my error correction. And so everything is actually computerized. This procedure is actually just computerized. The surgeon is just there to oversee that everything goes on fine, and I'm fine, and basically everything's going fine, because these are eyes you're talking about, and you have to really be careful that nothing goes wrong there. After my surgery happened, I had to wear the glasses. Some people were given like these transparent or like covered glasses that you might have seen on some people that have had like cataract operations in the past, but these weren't black, these were transparent. But my doctor had previously told me that it would be better if you get your own sunglasses, so I carried my own sunglasses that I wore on a daily basis. So these were tinted, so they were really helpful because I was really sensitive to light, and if that had been like transparent, I think I would be really irritated. And once the anesthetic actually wore off, my eye started to hurt a little bit, because of course you will feel, because a surgery has been performed on you. So my body or my eyes actually realized that something has happened in this area, and my eyes started to water like uncontrollably, and it was like my eyes felt really irritated, to the extent that I was like, oh my god, why did I even have this surgery? Like I was having those thoughts. But then I was like, okay, look on the brighter side, you don't have to wear glasses in future, this is all gonna go well. My doctor actually, after the surgery, like, he was so proud of me because, like I said, I'm not scared of needles or hospitals or doctors or anything like that. So I was just chill, and I just went in there coolly, like, yeah, I'm gonna get a surgery performed. And I was a really good kid in that surgery room, whatever. So I really cooperated well, and then he congratulated me that the surgery went pretty well and everything is fine. But you have to, like, generously put in a lot of eye drops. So there was one drop which I had to put in every 3 hours. The second one was 4 hours. No, the second one was 6 hours, 6 hour intervals. Third one was 4 hour intervals, and then the last one was again 6 hours. The first 2 drops were really strong. Basically, they were to actually heal my eye, and they kind of tend to dry out your eyes because they're so strong, and it's actually like an antibiotic medicine, you know. And the next 2 were like to treat the dryness of my eye. The first 2 eye drops I had to use for about 7 days after my surgery, and the other ones I have to use for 3 months, which I still have to put in my eyes. They feel really good. Now for the healing period, like I said, the burning of my eyes or the irritation of my eyes went away after the first day. Like, when I slept that night, I had to go in for a follow-up the next day. So when I went for that, I was all good. It was blurry. It was blurry for me because, like I mentioned, I had astigmatism, the cylindrical number of my eyes, and that takes some time to heal. So I could see things but not clearly, and I was still sensitive to light. So I went for my follow-up. They again checked everything, like they checked my number. It was perfect, it was fine. So after that was done, I still had to continue with my drops. But after that one day, I was free to travel. It was okay for me to resume work as usual. Yeah, I forgot to mention that I was told not to use phones or laptops or anything like that, or watch TV on the day, like on the day of my surgery, like after my surgery was performed, which I couldn't, obviously, because my eyes hurt like hell. Yeah, after that day, I was asked that I was told that I could resume all of that, but just be careful and just be, you know, aware of the fact that you've just had an eye surgery and you don't want to strain your eyes off and things like that. So I did use my phone and watch TV and all that, but just like in a very regulated way. I was basically just sleeping all the time because my eyes were still healing and they felt heavy. And like after I put in those first 2 healing drops, my eyes used to get really heavy and I used to basically end up sleeping the whole day. So yeah, that was like immediately after my surgery. I also had another follow-up which was on the 1 month mark, but I was going to fly out to US a week before that 1 month mark. So I went for a follow-up like on the day when I was going to fly out, and they just basically did the same things and checked my eye, my number, my cornea, and like things like that. They didn't really change my drops and just asked me to continue using those drops for 3 months. So how do I feel now? I feel great. It's an amazing feeling to not get up in the morning and have to put on those spectacles. Like, if any one of you wears glasses, you guys know that you would have your spectacles or your glasses like right next to your bed, and it's like out of habit I used to actually reach out for my glasses and then realize like, oh, I don't need them anymore because I was still healing and things were still a little bit blurred for me. But every day I realize, like every day I can feel that my vision is actually getting better. Like there are things in my room, like at this distance, at that distance, at different like places that I see, and I'm like, oh, like a couple of days back I couldn't see this properly, but now it's not blurred anymore, and it's an amazing feeling. I am still like healing from that. I can drive without any problems. Now the only thing that bothers me is actually driving at night, and the thing is, like when you drive at night and people have their lights on, if there's a car coming from front, it actually irritates my eye a little bit, like because the light comes out suddenly. I'm still a little sensitive to light, and that is why I was putting off on making videos for a month, because I wanted my eyes to be a little comfortable. And now that I'm sitting in front of these bright lights, I've been sitting here for almost 3 hours and I feel fine. I don't feel like my eyes have strained or they're dry, or I have been putting my eye drops which are for dryness, so I do feel really good. I don't feel uncomfortable at all. It's partly in my head that I can drive at night. Other than that, everything's great. I can work properly. I can sit in front of the laptop for 8 hours, which I do in office, and I can watch TV, I can go out, I can travel, I can do all sorts of things normally. So that is amazing. That's such a great feeling of not having to like wear contact lenses and not actually worry about wearing anything to assist you see better. So yeah, I hope I answered most of your questions. If you still have questions for me, or if you still want to know some things, just hit me up on any social media or leave your comments down in the comment section below, and I would be really happy to help you guys out. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. As always, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and please subscribe to my channel and help me reach 1,000 subscribers to hold my channel on YouTube. And thank you so much guys for watching. Take good care of yourselves, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye.